Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So much fun crafting happening today, and we're totally switching gears. And we're going to do a little bit of scrapbooking, album making. And we have a fabulous bundle and a bit of inspiration if you have the Christmas album here. I've been working on this December one, and isn't it just so cute? I'm going to show you the bundle in just a second, but it's got some really great memories in it already that I've made out. I definitely need always this reminder, and just cute to if you're not like a super skilled scrapbooker. A little album like this is just enough because it lets you sort of use the collections. And in the bundle, you get all of the things, like all the little pieces of paper to just take some regular photos like this that you might have on your phone. I just printed some out on, this is just actually not even on photo paper, but you could if you had a photo printer too. But I just printed this on regular printer paper because you know what? It really does the trick. And I love that we can kind of put these albums together, and I've got lots of like blank pages still. And the album actually comes with a lot of photo sleeves, so you can decorate inside those or outside those, or you can just put regular photos in these and just decorate the front. But it really is nice to have some albums like this that come out that you look at Christmas time, or that are just for a particular Christmas. I also decorated the front. This is what the album looks like in the kit. It's just a plain album. It has all of those pages in it, and you're going to get all of the stuff. So let me set aside the one that I've started decorating so that you can see what you're going to get. We've got over $100 worth of stuff in this bundle. So it's a mix of Vicki Boutin's Evergreen and Holly, and the Crepe Papers Mittens and Mistletoe collection. So you're going to get the album, and in the album it has those pages that you saw ready to decorate. We're also going to send you a big 24 by 24 inch paper pad with all of these great holiday papers. I mean, you can use this for all kinds of different crafting, even if it's not Christmas or holiday related. There's some great prints in here, and it's just so gorgeous. So we're going to bust that open today and make some more stuff. Plus, we want to give you all of those little embellishments and stickers. So you're getting a full pack of stickers so that you can be, doing titles and things like that. The sticker packs, beautiful. You're getting the ephemera packs too. What this does is gives you all of these great little cutouts to help you decorate your pages. And you're getting the enamel dots. And these are all really super cute. They're raised just for embellishments on your page, plus the roll of 7 washi tape in all these different holiday prints. So that's going to be fun for decorating. And last but not least, you get, woo, I just spilled it. You get this big bag of, I just spilled them, chipboard letters and photos and or numbers and words, and it's all centered around that holiday theme. And they're super, super thick and helps give your page lots of texture. So we're definitely going to be including some of those in a bit of what we're doing here. So let's get at it and let's make a page so that you get what I mean by decorating up your photos. If you mostly follow me for sewing, let's sew a little bit on these pages too, because you don't have to use adhesive all the time. You can just stitch right on the paper, which is really, really fun. So in the album that I've got going, you can see I decorated the front. I did a little bit of journaling. I've got some of those ephemera pieces, the little decorations, and some of those chipboard pieces here, a little envelope just to decorate the front. So you can decide if that's something that you're up for. And then on in the pages that come with the book, you could do a little something, let's say, with some of the numbers. Let's say you had something big happening on Christmas Eve and you wanted to showcase one of your photos like that, like with the calendar background, you could. Or maybe the 25th is the day that you're celebrating this year, and you could pull a photo from there. So you kind of have an idea of like, ooh, the calendar, that's kind of a neat background. Um, this one, it gives you lots of space that go ahead and journal. Like put some memories from Christmas here from this year. Just write the date, or if you have like a stamp, you can stamp the date. And 2023 and going into 2024, like what was happening in December, and maybe you have the coordinating photo on this side, and you can decorate it up a little bit. Or what I've done on this page is do a double layout. And I chose papers that were similar on both sides. And it was us at a local lake that was frozen over and that we like to go skating on. And, these are just pictures from my phone and using some of those pieces. And this is just a continuation of that. And, playing in the snow, traditions, mittens, like all of the little pieces come together so beautifully. And then that tree, the trees, that's the background paper. So pick a paper that, you think is kind of cute, and then start building from there. That's what I'd kind of suggest. So I love, like this, you could put like all the gifts that, you got or the kids got, and maybe you have a big photo of them or something like that where they're showing what they got. Have a little bit of fun with it. I've just got a bunch of photos that I've printed out here. And, for me, it doesn't matter so much that it's all from exactly the same event. What matters is preserving the memory of it. And if you're sort of intentional about that, these really become keepsakes and not just photos on your phone. So grab the bundle. It's $39.95 for Black Friday, which is, a steal because you're getting so much stuff in that bundle. $39.95. And then if you wanted to add, we've got the paper, the mittens and mistletoe from Crate Paper advent calendar. This is super easy to put together. It's just a fold and glue or tape kind of thing. And it's nice on a mantle or on a table, something like that. But this is a cute one, and only $9.99. So these are great. We're clearing them out. And if you've already got something like this, because maybe you subscribe to our subscription box, then hopefully you'll find some inspiration. So I'm going to go ahead and do these two, since, or maybe I'll do the calendar one, because then I can do a double layout and have it kind of go together. So I'll set the book aside and we'll insert it after. And I'm going to choose some papers that are going to kind of go along with this date theme. So I like the idea of like the 25th being a highlight, or I could go ahead and choose the numbers sort of like that and put it on like the day that the 25th is falling. I should actually look and see what day it falls on this year, so I know whether to put it on the Monday, the Tuesday. Karin, will you look and see what Christmas Day falls on this year? And then, let's choose a great photo. If you don't have a photo right yet, then leave what's called a photo place card, where you just cut a piece of cardstock. The size of the photo, will work on the layout. If you don't have a photo that you want to use for that quite yet. So on Saturday, okay, so the 25th can be like over here at the edge under the Saturday column, and we can have a bit of fun with making that line up. So that's good. Thank you for that. All right, so let's pop open the paper bundle here. Monday. Okay, Monday. Everybody's, no, wait, it's Monday. All right, that's fine. We'll just put it over here. We haven't glued anything on yet, so we're all good. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys do? How do you preserve your Christmas memories? Are you a scrapbooker? Do you ever do anything like this? Or is it basically, since technology took over, are all of your photos and everything just on your phone? Yeah, I think we're all a bit guilty of all of the photos just living on our phone. But it is nice to, I gotta get that sticker off. It is nice to print them out, and good luck finding a traditional photo album these days. But scrapbooking albums are plentiful. So, Ooh, isn't that nice as a strip? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull some pages out I'm kind of inspired to use. And isn't that nice? All right, let's keep going. And I'll try to pull off, like, I can see whether they kind of match. Oh, that kind of matches nicely together. And obviously I'm not going to use the entire sheet, but I'm also not going to, worry if, there's some left over. So this kind of a sheet is kind of cool because you can not only use it as a background, but you could cut these out if it has a saying on it that you think works, like bundled up, burr, snow day, happy holidays, from me to you. Like, you've got lots of options here. Oh, this is great for just a generic background for sure. That kind of really does go nicely with what we're doing. Oh, this is so cute. All of these are so cute. Snow. Oh, I love that kind of. It's nice just looking at these. If you love fabric, you'll love scrapbooking paper, and vice versa. If you love scrapbooking paper, you'll love fabric. I love this kind of a sheet too because you can cut these out and use them as little note cards or little one-offs. So I'm going to pull that out too and see what we can get out of that, even if it's just like a little one of those titles. Oh, these are all so cute. You can cut the presents out or use it as a background. This is so nice as a full layout. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me doing more scrapbooking videos. We've really skewed to sewing lately, but we used to do tons of scrapbooking videos. So yeah, let me know if that's something that you're interested in, because I love doing it and I'm happy to do it on every once in a while too. Okay, let's think here. What I'm going to do is grab let me see. It helps to have a photo that you want to, jump off from. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the photos and see. I like the whole family gathering together is fun. The kids, that's always good. My niece, last year we're in this play. I like the winter photos too. We have a couple of Christmas photos. So I'm going to do the Christmas photos here. This is Violet and my niece Emery, and they're cousins and they're always together. And Ruby too, but she just doesn't happen to be in this photo. We'll give her some cred. There she is. These three are the ones that are always together: Ruby, Violet, and Emery. That's my mom. And in these photos, Emery and Violet are together for the holidays, and you can kind of see the snowy background. So it sort of sticks with our theme. And this is Christmas morning last year, so that works. So now that we kind of have an idea of what photos we can use, then we can try to decide how we're going to frame them. What's the best way to have them stand out? And if Christmas is on the Monday this year, then we can kind of have our 25 or whatever on the Monday line. And let's see what other kind of ephemera pieces stand out. When you get these packages, they come, there's an opening at the bottom so that you can kind of reseal it. So let's spread some out. And really, once you start spreading these out, the inspiration will really start to fly, because you'll kind of see how the theme that you might want to have come together. If we're using that present, it's that green kind of really works with this background. What direction do you want to go in? Could it be this kind of thing? And do we keep the one photo on this side and one photo on this side? It'll start to come to life and get a bit of a, oh, this is cute, with the toque. it might get a little bit of a sort of an energy of its own when you start laying things out and see what kind of fits. So I really love the idea of the presents, and especially in these tones, because it's really working with the background. And because it's about the kids, sort of keeping it light and bright and things that they would like. kids, they're not all cardinals and poinsettias. No, they're like hot chocolate and gifts. So let's keep that kind of thing. My kids definitely are not about peace. So no, that's not the right one for this. But these little cute, like the toque, maybe the pine cones, that's reading a little older too. The skunk could be cute with the little bow. That's definitely feeling like their vibe. This kind of a thing with the 2 hot chocolates, for the 2 girls, like that's a really good play. So I've pulled out a few of these that feel a little like their energy, and the rest I can kind of just set aside. Otherwise, it sometimes gets a bit overwhelming. So if I kind of say, okay, like those work, and the color scheme kind of works because I've laid them out on my page, now we can decide, okay, what else? I like that the 25 is in the black and everything else is sort of a bit more on like tone on tone. We could take a look at some of the stickers and see if those work too. Again, there's a few more of those presents that are like that. A couple labels. I like that there's, a few things like this, like bundle up. That kind of works because they're here outside. They're in their winter clothes. You can see Emery's got her Tim Biebs hat on. Oh. And so that's pretty cute. Yeah, so let's just keep this on standby and let's kind of set aside the decoration since we're in a good place and think about how we want to display the photos. Should we use both? Should we just use one? And kind of decorate the one side and then highlight this side with the photo. I think that's what we should do rather than try to put 2 photos on one page. I'll just use the one photo on this side. That way I can decorate over here and have it spill over here. Okay, so one of the things that you want to make sure you're doing when you're paper crafting is you can cut with scissors, but similar to sewing, scissors just don't allow for straight cutting. They allow for snipping and the quick job, but when you really want something that's straight, you want to use a paper trimmer of some kind. So I've got my guillotine style here. I'm just gonna trim it. I'm not even coming up with a measurement, right? I don't think I need one at this point because I'm just gonna do my backdrops to measure the size of this trimmed photo. So get rid of those little extra pieces. And on my paper, let's choose a background that we like for the paper or more than one. I kind of really love this as a strip. So I'm going to go ahead with the paper cutter and, well, I also love this as a strip. So let's just see what works with the size of the paper and whether or not that big red stripe works or not. It might be nice for a big pop of color. Let's just see. So I'm going to cut out the strip just above that dotted line. And then below the dotted line too, so that we kind of end up with a strip. Cute. And then I'll cut this strip too because this on its own is quite nice. So just below that dotted line. And then this is just extra. I'll put it back in the paper tray. And oh, look at this. This little extra too is quite nice. So let's just keep that as a maybe. All right, I'm going to bring back my layout page and see whether or not this might be too thick. Or is it the kind of thing that looks nice if it's running across the entire strip? Like I could run it from here, chop it, and then pick it up and run it again over here. But it might be a little too thick. What about this one? Is this better? Let's see with the picture. This one probably works better in terms of size, but I really do love the, I think it's the quilt block that's speaking to me. I could always cut it like this and, kind of do that kind of thing. I could even just do the smaller one and have it anchor the page. Maybe that's the way to go, not quite so thick. Let's audition this one now too. Yeah, I think the big one is fine. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So what I'm going to do is just, I like when you're doing a double layout, the idea of having one theme continue from one side and then you got your rings for the binder in the middle and then it goes over. It really makes things nice and cohesive. I'm just using my craft knife here instead of just easily get the exact right size. And then whatever's left over, let's just bring it on this side. And you'll notice I'll need to put another hole punch here if I go over that hole. Because I think when you operate in thirds, like this is the lower third, it gives the page a nice balance. Okay, so do we have, yeah, we have just enough here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll maintain that border on the edge. So just right there, I'll make sure to slice. So that's going to look good and kind of keep the two coming together. Still gives me the feel, even though I don't get to use my precious. Somewhere along the way, this will come out, I'm sure. Tape runner. Now, the other thing we could do, since this sort of is mimicking sewing, and my machine has, I know, this stitch, is we could go ahead and sew an applique stitch right along the bottom here, like those X's in real thread. Or we could just go ahead and right down the middle here, do straight stitches since this already looks like thread. So why don't I do that? Because that's kind of cool. So I got my sewing machine here. This is the Janome 9410. And I'm just making sure, yeah, you can see it. I'm just threading it with white thread, but you could use whatever you've got. And any sewing machine will sew on paper, by the way. Yeah, it's like no big deal for a sewing machine. Just use the automatic needle threader here. The sewing machine has no problem with thread. Oh, I can hear my phone about to die. One sec. I better plug in my phone so we don't lose any of our camera angles here. If you're just tuning in, I'm making a holiday album and I'm using the scrapbooking holiday bundle album that we've got on for Black Friday. And it's $39.99. And it includes about $100 worth of Christmas scrapbooking stuff, including the album, which is what we're making here, one of these albums. So it comes with the album and all this stuff. So you'll be able to, put together something similar with your own pictures and things like that. All right, so I'm just going to bring this to the sewing machine and run a row of, maybe I'll do zigzag stitches down. Choose the zigzag stitch, and I'll make it a little bit bigger, just so that the fabric really stands out. And I've got the clear foot on here, and I'm not using any glue. I'm just going to stitch this down. We don't need the glue gumming up the machine in any way. But take a look. That nice like zigzag down the paper just for a little extra texture. I know lots of you have sewing machines, so why not use it in all kinds of different ways. All right, I'm going to sew along that side again too. And it's subtle, like it's not in your face, like it's just a little subtle bit of and then I'll go ahead and do this side too. I'm just making sure it's nice and even. You can see those stitches, and then just down the other side. All our sewing machines are on Black Friday sale right now. So if you need a new machine, or you think someone in your life would like a sewing machine, then yeah, take a look, homemade.ca, and you can get an extra 10% off any of our machines that we've got. Yeah. Okay, this looks so cute, and I love it with that stitching. Good. All right, we need something to anchor the 25 here. And now I can put the 25 like on its own, but it probably would look nice if it was on something. Like maybe, let's take a look here and see what we've got. Actually, I like this with the trees and the pink. Why don't I cut something like that out and see if that works. What I like about using a paper pad like this, it's sort of like getting a fabric collection, is if you use something in a collection, all of the colors are going to work together. And you're not trying to match up, hues of pink or red or whatever. You already know that the designer has taken care of that. So let's try this for... I got a little wave of blue on the top there. Let's snip it again. And so I still want to be able to see Monday, but this will kind of act as a bit of an anchor for our actual numbers. Now, it could be a little bit thinner, or I need to move it kind of down and over. I kind of wish the border was down here instead, and then it was sort of up like that so that the 25 could speak for itself. Is there one that matches a little more like that? Maybe I need to cut the trees off. Let's do that. If it doesn't work for you, make it work. So let's snip the trees off. And I can tell you, I'm not starting these pages with any sort of great plan. I'm just starting and seeing where it takes me. Yeah, that's a bit better, actually. That way the 25 has a bit of an anchor point. But because the trees were at the top, I'll just switch them to the bottom. I'm going to make this a little bit thinner and a little bit more square, like a calendar block. So it stands out like it's jumping out of the Monday. Now, Christmas is probably down here somewhere. Should that be where we put this? Because probably, because Christmas is always like the last week of the month. Maybe it needs to be down here on the Monday, not up here. And then when we get to the photo on this side, we can have it be up here. That way we've got some balance going on the two sides. And then with our trees, I guess, either we use them or we don't use them. It's not critical. All right, so I could put some more stitches down here, like some straight stitches maybe, or I could puff it up and put some foam dots on the back. Let's do that. That way, foam dots are great because they have adhesive on them and they help your paper stand out from the background. So I've got a couple here. So if I put in the middle, And then you just pull off the little paper backing, and then you expose the adhesive on this side. And let's make this the 25th calendar block like that. Yeah. And then I can use a bit of tape runner or glue, but this is great. Just put a little adhesive on the back of the 2 and the 5 there. And these big cardboard, like the chipboard numbers and, you know, embellishments are so fun. You can use them all over the place. Isn't that nice? And then we could have like a couple things that match it, like kind of around it. You know, this whole package that you get, I don't know if stars would be nicer or snowflakes. What do you guys think? Stars, snowflakes? Let's audition some in a couple different sizes. Maybe both. I like the snowflakes, I think, mostly because they're outside in the photo. All right. Now, before we start to really get this all dressed up, I don't know about all is bright. We'll see about that. Let's mount this photo. What do we think about the green? Or should we stick with the red? Could use it up like this, but then this is going to cover. Nope. What other papers did we pull? Let's see. It's cute. You might need something a little brighter since about something like this. If we did something like this, I think we should double it up twice. Looks good. This is nice too. So remember, you're getting this 24 by 24 inch paper pad in the bundle. It's over $100 worth of scrapbooking stuff. I wonder if the dark green would help it pop off the page a little bit more too. What do you guys think? Stick with the red or add the green in? Or do the green with the 2 like this and kind of, yeah, maybe we'll do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and measure out the photo next to the paper. My trimmer. Just make sure I've got enough just to frame out that photo. Okay, and then let's do it with, I'm going to try the green stripes or the darker green. The darker green acts as a bit better of an anchor. I'm getting a lot on my table here. I should pick up these photos. Don't need all of these around anymore. And I don't want anything to get on them because we'll use them for another page sometime. There we go. Making sure this is lining up. There we go. Okay, this looks nice. So a couple of options. We can kind of play it straight and narrow and just get it on here. Nice and framed out. We could have it be a little askew. That way we've got a little more room for some of the things that we wanted to add on. Maybe some of the cute stuff we wanted to have peek out. So let's try it like that. That way we leave ourselves a little bit of space. So I'll go ahead and put this one flat down. Now, we could go ahead and add some stitches right around the edge of the green here. So we're kind of picking up on that sewing vibe. So I'm just going to straight stitch this time and just around the edge of the paper. And then once I get to the end, just press our foot up and pivot. And pivot. Pivot again. Went a little too far off the page there. I'll snip those. And down we go. There we go. Although we might not even see that if it's covered over. All right, trim the thread. Yeah, we're not even going to see that anyway. So that's a little extra bonus texture there that kind of plays on the stitches. And I think we probably do need a little bit of red or brown or something behind. Since this is so dark, we might need a little bit of something behind this picture here. Let's just try this one again. Yeah. Everybody's quiet and watching. Where are you tuning in from? I always like knowing where you guys are in the world. We are at Homemade in Kingston, Ontario. If you're local, pop in for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. You can shop online for Cyber Monday. The shop is closed on Mondays, but we're open Tuesday to Saturday. Well, Tuesday to Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturdays from 9 until 4. So yeah, come see us sometime. And I'm just going to add some of that tape runner here. And I'll add some of the foam adhesive to the back because that's going to help me have room to tuck in some of the decorations we're going to use because I can slide them easily underneath. So once all of this is off and I adhere it down, it's just going to kind of jump off the page a little bit more. And so I'm going to just add I guess I should have done this part first, but let's add this here. And this one here. And now see how we've got kind of a big drop here. We can just add another piece of the foam and then everything will be laying nice and even. Go. There, now when you touch it, everything's nice and flat. Cute. Okay, so let's choose some embellishments here, and we're nearly there. I like some of these, the bundle up. So these are stickers. You can find a couple. Kind of goes with what they're doing. And we can add the snowflake. Like that there. And maybe we add another one on their side too. If we're kind of going with the keeping warm type thing, we could have a couple, like there, I know there was a toque. Now the toque is bringing in another color. We've also got a couple toques here, like maybe more in the color scheme. Let's see. This, or we can bring it like, kind of hide it underneath like this. And then maybe down here, we could kind of have those mugs of hot chocolate, like they're waiting for them after they're done outside. You know, that's the way the kids always work, is a little like this kind of thing. And I know I had another hot chocolate mug. I thought there was one in pink. There it is. I think maybe the pink one. Let's do this. And so you can kind of see, you don't need to be an expert scrapbooker to have a little bit of fun with paper and adhesive and you know, even bring in your sewing machine for a bit of the job. just kind of let yourself have a play. And there's so much in this kit. If you wanted to give everybody a sheet of paper and everybody could share some stickers and things like that, you know, this is a nice whole family thing to do, is each make a page, especially if you've gone and done something fun for the holidays. If everybody went skating, or if everyone went to a show or went to someone's home, and you have a bunch of pictures, then, you know, you could do something like put it together as a little album when you get back. So let's anchor this mug, and these mugs here, maybe we'll just do a little extra. We have that extra piece, so they're not just floating in midair. Just lift this up and get that under there, just for a little extra anchoring. There we go. You can snip that off. And let's see. All is Bright looks kind of cute. Those trees are still an option. I think the All is Bright is nice. What else do we have for words? Warm wishes would look good, since we're talking about snuggly type things. Let me see how that looks. We can audition it. Sort of warm wishes on the 25th. Or what about, what I like about these stickers is you can put them right back on. What about the Let's Get Cozy? So if we're going to do Let's Get Cozy, I think there needs to be a little something underneath there to anchor it. So I'm going to just take this strip off of this card. And put it right up top here, kind of echoing that red one down there. So I have something to anchor that Let's Get Cozy to. And then maybe we go like with the toque. Need a little something more here. Maybe we could do something that has the date on it, or we could bring in some of our washi tape. That's always fun to just add a strip of tape. Oh, I got stickers on the side here. Get these stickers off. Gotta hand it to packaging. Gosh, it's like, I wish they'd make my home this secure. All right. So all these great little rolls of washi tape. This one's kind of cool because it has little sentiments on it. This one says bundle up, which is what it says here. That's kind of cool. All is Bright. Mary, let's just see what we got. So we could be going a little bit down here, All is Bright, or the bundle up. I'm going to do the bundle up. How are we doing for time, Karen? How long have we been going? 51 minutes. Okay. We're almost finished here. Let's put a little piece of that tape. It kind of echoes that bundle up. And we have a few more snowflake stickers here. Kind of get some in and around. So I'm loving this side. There's lots of great stuff going on this side. Try to work in threes. So we've got 3 snowflakes, like 1, 2, 3, and try to balance them out. So if we've got in a triangular balance, it always looks nice. And so we've got this. Just need a little bit more going on here, potentially. We could put those GIFs. Would look good. Maybe the ski chalet could be cute in the corner, something like that. And since we're on that side and it's a little more outdoorsy, we could do the little skunk, kind of cute. Even just a little. And let's see what else we have in the the trees that we were thinking about over there could go under here. That'd look nice. And then maybe I'll glue them on, but I'll put a piece of that washi tape just underneath also. Cute. And then the last thing we kind of need is we'll use a few of our dots. Let's bring in some of these. It's always nice for some extra texture. We've got a few more snowflakes, so we could put those right on the photo like that. Just kind of have a couple in the corner in different sizes. Cute. Maybe we'll do there, and then a couple. We're sticking with the snowflake motif. Add a couple around this side. Always try to do threes. And then we've got a couple little spots here. If you wanted to do some journaling or put, some dates that were important. If you've got, some pens, black pen, or, you could do a little bit of journaling. And I can write Violet and Emery always together. I'm just putting the forest walk that we went on here and the year that they did it. And, you can type it or write in your own bit of journaling so that you can add your own, sort of prompt your memory. And that's a quick and easy, double layout on, a little calendar page that kind of played off the numbers, used a bit from the kit. So when we open up our binder, I still need to make that hole punch. I don't have a hole punch right with me, but I do have my craft knife. So I'll just do this for now so that I'll just put a little X so I can at least get it in my binder until I hole punch it. Same with this side. All right, what do you guys think? Think you could pull it off if you've never scrapbooked before? I think you can. It's pretty, all of the stuff is in the kit. And then look how nice it is together in the book. When you open that up, this took less than an hour to do, and you'll have everything you need in the kit $39.95 for both the book and all of the stuff that I've used here, the washi tape, all the little ephemera. All you really need is, some adhesive and some scissors. And I even used my sewing machine to add a little bit of extra texture. And I'm going to leave those threads. That actually looks kind of cute and homespun. And so, yeah, let's get cozy. December 25th for sure. I love it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate you being here with me this hour. We're having so much fun as the crafting marathon continues. Yeah, we got lots more to come, so stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in this hour. Bye.